guitar on the end.
Don't know who I am? Where the hell have you been? Well, in the last few years, we have all witnessed some outstanding anniversaries. The Constitutional Bicentennial, the Statue of Liberty celebration, the 200th anniversary of electricity coming to Salve. Yes, and tonight there is another milestone. Lordy, Lordy, John Brunetti's turning 40. We sent our chief investigative reporter and rumor control expert, Eddie Mencken, to talk with the creme de la creme of the legal community about little Johnny. Here's a sample of what they had to say.
Becoming a judge.
Well, Ed, I'm very glad you reminded me of who he was. But now that my recollection is refreshed, his intelligence is good. He's a student of the law. Of course, I understand that he originally majored in animal husbandry until they caught him at it. That may hurt. But there are some openings, I understand, all the time for justice of the peace around this county and perhaps other counties, maybe even in Texas.
Rita.
How you doing?
Good.
Good, Ed. Haven't seen you in a while.
I know. I'm over here hunting for John Brunetti. Have you seen him?
Oh, JJB? No, he hasn't been around today.
You know,
What's happening with
it's his birthday pretty soon. I was wondering.
Really?
Yeah, it
when?
is. Oh, it's going to be this weekend.
How old is he going to be?
How old do you think that boy is?
Oh, probably about 39 and holding.
At least. Rita, what can you tell me about John Brunetti? What sticks in your mind?
Are you kidding me? His great suits. Oh.
Hey, guys. You know, I was wondering, is there anything about John Brunetti that really sticks out in your mind?
Probably his gray suits.
Oh, what sticks in your mind about John Brunetti?
He's doing all right. He's doing the best job he can.
Yeah?
That's all you can expect of the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a tough job.
Yeah.
People are going to realize that.
Yeah. Which one of his cases did you sit in on?
I think it was the Golden case.
Golden case?
Yeah.
How'd he do in that?
He lost out.
If you had any advice for him on his birthday, what would the advice be?
Win more cases.
Richard, you got any thoughts for your friend John Brunetti on his 40th birthday? Something that sticks out in your mind about the boy?
Absolutely nothing. But if I was to come up with one thing, I would say that John has the thickest soles on his shoes that I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, Russ, anything come to mind about John Brunetti? Something that brings him to mind on his 40th birthday?
Yeah, one thing I like about John.
What's that?
He's short.
Hey, Jeff, you know, you've been around this courthouse an awful long time. You've seen these young lawyers come and go, you know? What do you think, we're talking here about John Brunetti, and why do you think that Wildridge made him his first deputy assistant district attorney? Got any thoughts on that?
Well, he's very precise. And, he wears great suits.
Badge, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mr. Mencken.
I was going to ask you something. You know, I've always been curious about this. What was it like presiding over the Golden trial and between DeFrancisco and Brunetti? What was that experience like for you?
Well, it was only equivalent, I think, in The Wizard of Oz, when the good witch descended from the west and she had to separate the fighting little munchkins, and she got down with her tiny little stool and her tiny little whip, and she spanked them each respectively. It was quite an interesting experience. It was a teeny-weeny experience that I enjoyed a great deal.
Yeah.
Judge, nice to see you.
Ed, how you doing?
Oh, real good.
Listen, you want to talk about your buddy John Brunetti?
Yeah,
right?
I do. You know, Judge, you've observed John over many years, litigating a lot of cases in front of you, handling important matters. You've seen him develop as a young lawyer. You've seen him come all the way now. He's the chief deputy assistant district attorney. What is it, after observing him for so long and so closely, what is it that sticks out, that really comes to your mind when you think of John?
Well, that's a pretty good question about John. I really think that the strongest part about John that I can recall is his suits.
Center. We're here in the powerful offices of George Lowe, Von Scheniken King, well known to be the perfect man, the kingmaker, the the man about town who knows government servants, bureaucrats, good lawyers. He knows them all. We're here to ask George, what is it, George? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ed.
What could it have been, as you're one of the leading participants in the Wildridge Screening Committee and Selection Committee? What could it have been that motivated you and the other committee members to recommend John Brunetti to Mr. Wildridge to serve as his chief deputy district attorney? You recall?
I do recall
You recall
Ed.
John Brunetti?
Pardon me? Excuse me?
What about John?
Well, to be candid, the committee had a little difficulty with John's recommendation for John because we did...
Well, did anybody recommend him?
Well, I think I vaguely recall some individual did. I don't recall. It might have been yourself, Ed, but I'm not certain about that. The rest of the committee had some concerns. We wondered whether John was sufficiently organized to sit in to join that Wildridge team.
He does throw off that kind of perception.
Yeah, he does. But we decided ultimately we would overcome that concern about John and recommend him because we did conclude that his wardrobe would fit right in and complement perfectly the Wildridge fashion sense.
Comment, John?
No comment.
All right.
And the reason for that is that...
No, John. We don't want to know the reason.
John Brunetti's shoe before he went to work to the DA.
Yeah.
And you can see what happened after he went to the DA. From a size 14 to a size 7.
Hey, Billy. What do you think? What do you think of John Brunetti?
Well, usually I don't, but when I do...
This is one of his favorite haunts. Let's go in and check it out. Hey, Val, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Good. You seen John Brunetti here today?
Gee, he just left.
Did he?
Just missed him, yeah, right.
Oh, no kidding. He probably came in for some of these famous cigars he's always smoking.
Yeah, well, he bought a couple, but he was more interested in something else. Come on.
Is that right?
Yeah. Come on, I'll show you.
I know. I see John in here all the time. I always see him coming out. He always has some kind of bags.
When he comes in, that's where he usually hangs out.
What, back in here?
Yeah, right. This is the kind of stuff he gets turned on.
Oh, he's into this, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that little devil.
Yeah.
What a guy, huh?
Didn't
Spend a lot
notice
of money in here?
Oh, well, enough.
Mulan, why don't you tell me something about John Brunetti?
John Brunetti. Great suits.
John DeFrancisco, celebrated counselor at large and renowned defense attorney here in the city. John is especially known not only as a longtime associate and friend of John Brunetti, but also as a man of some creative thinking and original ideas. John, you know, we'd like to get a little better insight into... Good evening, John. Hi, how are you? Good. Good. You're not running for office yet. I'm glad you took some time off from your usual round of clam bakes and associated chicken pot dinners to join us tonight. I had a few questions for you, John, about your relationship with Mr. Brunetti. You know, a lot of people have been curious about some of the things that brought the two of you together.
Is there a question at some point?
Yeah, there is, but you're used to this. You're used to this long-windedness. You put up with me and Brunetti for a long time, you know. Well, you know, one of the things that's, I mean, probably the most attractive thing about John is Rockette. Do you happen to know how is it they got together?
Oh, that was my idea.
No. Well, I mean, you know, you've been together with Brunetti for a real long time. You know, what caused him to leave Dick Gordon?
Well, that was my idea.
Well, you know, one of the things that I think the two of you are known for is just hanging out with Eddie Mencken. What brought Mencken into the practice with the two of you?
That was my idea.
Well, what about what about buying the gear building? I think that was one of the best moves that the two of you ever made.
Yes, my idea.
Well, you know, one of the things that the newspapers have written a lot about, got a lot of media attention, is that owl on the building keeping the pigeons away, so it doesn't soil the souls of your many soiled clients. How is it that owl got to the top of that building?
My idea.
You know, John, I think probably the thing that people are most curious about is the relationship between the two of you during the Golden Trial. That must have been real tough. You know, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I've always wondered, how is it that Brunetti got assigned to, you know, to prosecute that case?
That was definitely my idea.
Well, I mean, that really brings us to the ultimate question. Why did Brunetti, what caused Brunetti to go over to the district attorney's office in the first place?
Definitely his idea.
No comment.
Murray.
And the reason for that is that...
No, John. We don't want to know the reason.
No comment.
Murray.
And the reason for that is that...
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. The little faggot with the earring and the makeup. Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair.